Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Smooth Cat, Colossal Boxing Talk. Today, having a round table discussion for boxing. Introduce yourselves, fellas.
What up, home? What up, world? It's your boy Big Cool, CBT. Let's get it.
It's your boy Mouse, Pennsylvania in the building. You dig? Colossal Boxing Talk all day.
And our other member, JG. He isn't in yet, but he'll be popping in shortly. But we're gonna start the show off today with the events from the past weekend. And since Mouse wasn't here, I'm gonna start with Mouse. Mouse, what was your take on the Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora fight?
Man, you know what? I love Tyson Fury. I don't give a crap how much that dude talks. He's, I think he's the most. I don't want to say he's underrated. You know, he's everybody knows he's a problem at heavyweight. But man, that dude just. It seems like he just gets better and better. I remember when Cunningham knocked him down, and I thought, oh, this dude is not gonna be that good. But he's adjusted so good to that heavyweight division. To be honest with you, I think he's the next champ. I don't see anybody
Hmm.
beating him up there after, besides Klitschko, of course. But once Klitschko is done, I mean, maybe what's that boy from United Kingdom or Anthony Josh?
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he might be a problem for him, but that was a good fight. I thought Fury should have finished him off a little bit earlier because he had him hurt. But I mean, I saw that he beat Chisora up the first fight, so I didn't see this fight going the distance either.
Okay, okay. Go ahead, be cool.
Man, I ain't gonna go with the praise to Fury like my boy Mouse did, but like I said, he's gonna be a problem because he's 6'9", has good power. He utilizes jab, which to me is the most important punch that a fighter could ever use. You know what I'm saying? It sets up anything, sets up your offense. It can play your defense. You can win a fight with just a jab. And I was loving that his jab was active against Chisora, which the size difference, man, the size difference is really, 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 it played a big part. And if he get, technically better and fundamentally more sound and know how to use that height and size even better, then he's gonna be a problem for anybody. But I'm not gonna say he's the next champ, but I know that, because I think either Joshua or Wilder can get him. Obviously Klitschko will destroy him. You know what I'm saying? When they fight, if they fight. But like I said, it's an impressive victory. He still looks so, maybe because he looks so sloppy and uncoordinated because he's just so big.
Yeah.
He kind of put me in the fold of the big old bald head champion. What's the dude name? It was 7 feet.
Uh,
Oh, the
You know,
Russian.
yeah, the
uh,
big ugly mug.
what you should know the ugly, but I can't think of his name. I know David Hay Rock.
Talk about
One in Nikolai or something.
Yeah, Valuev.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he ain't as tall as him, obviously, but he just put me in the mold like a little more athletic and agile. But like I said, he's definitely a heavyweight to look out for. But he's gonna have to, continue to improve as he steps up. Well, I guess if he's gonna fight Klitschko next, he's gonna have to go all out, to get the victory. But he looked good, man, and Chisora is definitely officially a gatekeeper.
Okay, okay. Welcome to the show today, JG. What are your takes on that fight?
Oh, hey, what'd you say?
I said, what are your takes on the Chisora and Fury fight from the past weekend?
Oh yeah, man. Just like my prediction, man. He was going. I told you he was going to wear him down.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, pretty much. I mean, he just looked like he was in shape. To me, and he looked like he was in shape the first time this fight got derailed. So I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I said this in our pregame that I thought Chisora. I mean, is I guess his claim to fame was the fact that he had a close fight with Vitaly a while ago. But other than that, I mean, every time it came to for him to step up, you get what you just got. So I kind of feel like, I mean, Fury he took it, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. I don't. I mean, to add on to what Jarrell was saying not too long ago, I don't think that he beats Klitschko. Maybe a guy like Wilder, somebody a little bit quicker can get him. I would have loved to have seen the Hay fight,
Oh
but
man, you know I was gonna mention that.
I mean, whew, that would have been great. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I think that Tyson Fury is going to be good for the heavyweight division. And honestly, I don't see him ducking anybody if he gets the chance. I mean, if it's on the table, I think that he'll take any of those type of fights. So a guy like that, always good for the heavyweight division that's dying out because, I mean, it seems like it's four really good heavyweights, and for some odd reason, the guys aren't fighting each other. And I
Yeah.
mean, to even throw up another point, because I mean, this is one thing that we're not talking about. I think that Fury could give Klitschko a better fight than Pulev just did. I mean, why not? I mean,
He
I
could
just
potentially style wise.
yeah, style wise, I think that he could. I mean, I don't think that he would, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at this point, we got to put the best heavyweights against the best heavyweights.
Yep.
It's it's like I'm gonna let you jump in real quick, smooth cat. But I don't thinking about who can beat Klitschko. It's really it comes down to want to and can you really take his punches? You know what I'm saying? And cause he's gonna clinch you. You got to be effective. I guess you got to let your hands go. It's all about the punch resistance and if you really want to take his title, you know what I'm saying? Because he can be had, you know what I'm saying? He can be had because his chin still, it's gotten. I'm not gonna say it's gotten better, but he's gotten better. So the
Protects it.
yeah the flaws that he showed early in his career, they've been hidden thanks to the great late Emmanuel Stewart. But like I said, man, it's gonna take a champion a fighter that wants to be champion and wants to be great to defeat Klitschko. But go ahead, Smooth Cat.
Oh, okay. My take on the fight is I feel that Chisora pretty much did what me and Jay Z was talking about. It's like he gets in the big fights and he'll fight tough, but he never does enough to win the big fights that'll propel him to like from anywhere between the elite mark and a really really good mark. He never does. He never wins those type of fights. That's like if you look at him versus David Hay, that fight there, it's like he went in. He was the bigger man, the supposedly stronger man, and David Hay ends up being the first guy to knock him out. Now, then over this weekend, Tyson Fury fought him again. That first fight was very close in my opinion. It was
I
a close
agree.
fight. But this go around, it's like Tyson Fury came out. He says, you know what? Like something else that we mentioned on the last show. It was like Tyson Fury saw his opportunity to step up and make that big name for himself, and he took advantage of it. So I mean, I can't do nothing but clap my hands to him. He
Agree. I
deserved it.
agree. I definitely agree. And it was kind of surprising to me a little bit because he had been out of the ring for a good minute because the Hay fights got canceled and postponed. Then the
Right.
first Chisora, I guess, rematch fight was postponed. And, you know what I'm saying? And that could play a big key. You know what I'm saying? Especially I guess heavyweights being rusty and coming back and putting on solid performances. But he did what he had to do. It showed us that he stayed in the gym. He was sharp mentally and physically. And like I said, you want that from a guy. So uh, on his heart and willingness to be great alone, you got to put him above Joshua right now, who's a young prospect, and Wilder, who's untested. So he's definitely second in line, then followed by Jennings and the rest of those, or followed by Stavern, then him. But he definitely a guy to look out for.
I
Okay.
thought, man, well, for me, he looked better than he's looked in a while, man. He actually
I
looked like,
agree.
you know what I mean? He was really in the gym. I mean, for a dude to be not in the ring for the time that he was to look the way that he did, man, I've never seen Fury look so good in my life. No homo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in he looked real good. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was ready to fight, and it was a good sign. I mean, like I said, you could see the improvements he makes in every fight. He's gotten better from when he first started in the game. I know he's a clown, and a lot of people wanna you know, not look past that. But I mean, he's been backing it up pretty good.
True.
True,
I
true.
don't mind. I don't mind him or any other fighter really talking as long as they're willing to fight. You know, good competition. But when you get to talking and then you're not fighting nobody, and that's when it become a problem. But I think people focus too much on these fighters' personality instead of
They
what they do
do.
in the ring. Instead of
They
what they do
do.
in the ring.
They do. It's a lot of that. I mean, because don't get me wrong, me myself. I mean, hey, I can't lie. It is a few fighters that I somewhat judge by that out of the ring thing, but then I have to catch myself and like, okay, you got to realize they're their own person. They're gonna live the way they want to live. So, yeah, like you said, you got to learn that you can't judge fighters off of their personal life. You got to judge what
Yeah.
they do inside the ring.
Because the people that's judging are doing the same thing. It's just not exposed because they not, what I'm saying, star athletes.
Yeah, but
True, true.
that's just part of the game that goes along with the game. I mean, as much as we don't want to judge these guys outside the ring, I mean, they understand that once they're in the spotlight, that's
Right.
what you're portraying to the fans. I mean, it's like an actor. They in movies, but once they start walking outside, everything they do is scrutinized. Even if it's not our job to do it, but I mean, that's just part of the game.
True, true. But I think you just got to find an equal balance of what to criticize. Like, people will dig real deep just to find out some stuff that nobody else need to know about
True.
instead of just keeping it on some, okay, he said an ignorant comment, he did this and that. They got to bring up stuff that, only people that got too much time on their hands can find out.
Right.
That's true.
All right, y'all. Well, the next fight we're gonna talk about is a fight that all us unanimously picked wrong. Chris Eubanks versus
I was
Bi-
close.
versus Billy Joe Saunders.
I was the closest.
Yeah, I
I think I was
I, I
the
give you
closest
I give you
too,
that.
wasn't I? No, was I?
I had a split
No.
decision for Eubanks, and it was a split decision for Saunders.
Right.
I had a decision for you, man, but it don't matter. We all
Hey,
wrong.
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? But you know what? Hey, I'm gonna let JG start this one off. What was your takes on Saunders in that fight? Because I think I got a lot to say about not Saunders, Eubanks. I got a lot to say about Eubanks.
Hmm.
My take on it. I mean, I think that Saunders. I think that he outworked him a little bit. I mean, honestly, it could have gone either way. And I know the Eubanks and obviously his father, they have something to say. And it to me, it should be a rematch. It should be a
Right.
rematch. But I think that Saunders was a little gritty. He was tough. I mean, he got winded a little bit, which is a little bit alarming. But I mean, I think he did enough to edge it out, and I would love to see them fight again.
Okay. Let's go, Mouse.
I was impressed. I'm not even gonna lie. I really, I mean, I had a split decision Eubanks only because I figured, where they were fighting at, and Eubanks, being who he was, and I thought they were just gonna give it to Eubanks. But Saunders outboxed him. I mean, it was a close fight, but I mean, he showed the more, um, he showed the more experience than Eubanks. I was just disappointed with Eubanks. Like I just felt like he was just looking for that knockout the whole fight.
Yeah.
I felt like if he would have just, you know what I mean, if they would have had a different game plan. Listen, Eubanks is a really strong guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure if you can work the body for the first couple of rounds, you can really do some damage. But it just seemed like he had no punches that night. Like he just kept looking for his hook and his uppercut, trying to just end the
He was
night.
head hunting.
Yeah, and it just really that to me was what played the biggest factor because Saunders really took advantage of that. But it was a really good fight. I agree with John. I think they should go at it again.
All right, be cool.
Like I said, I don't think Eubanks look like he sometimes he look like he didn't have a game plan other than to knock him out. He looked like he was overexcited, over anxious. I said he had to be calm and composed, and stick to the game plan. He started to do that later on in the fight, but he just didn't do enough. He was winging shots, missing them. and I think he might have tired himself out a little bit. Because you take a lot of energy when you miss.
Yes,
You
indeed.
use more energy when you spend more energy when you miss shots than when you land them. But like I said, for Billy Joe Saunders Jr., I don't think he should give him a rematch right now. I think he should, get that title shot or sit on that mandatory spot, face the winner of Korobov and I think Andy Lee, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, yeah. Andy Lee.
Take his chance with that. Maybe win that title, and then get a couple of defenses, and then give Eubank his rematch or whatever. But he in a win-win situation if he can definitely win that title. But like I said, Eubank need to just work on settling down, being composed, and being more aggressive in a smart way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't set
Right.
up anything. He didn't set up, try to set up any punches. He was just winging it. And at this level, you cannot do that. And it proved. Joe Saunders proved it. Saturday night or Saturday afternoon that you got to come in with a game plan if you want to be effective in this sport.
Okay. Now, my take on it is this. I mean, coming in, watching Eubanks, watching them train, and watching some of his old fights. I mean, hey, I pretty much became basically like a on the spot fan of his because I mean he's very talented. But like you say, over the weekend, it just seems like to me his goal is like his father told him. You know what? You better than him. You gonna knock him out in one round or less. Anything after that, as soon as you hit him with one big shot, he gone. And that's all Eubanks was looking for all night long. He would he. I mean, he had ample opportunities to set things up with the jab and come over the top. He just he was just looking for that big shot, and it's like he had tunnel vision because I mean, like it was a lot of stuff he could have did in that
I think.
fight to be successful,
I
but it's
think.
like
Then
he go ahead, go
my
ahead, go
bad.
ahead, go ahead,
I
go
think
ahead.
that I think his father kind of might be at the distraction. You know what I'm saying? Because how he stand in the ring, and it just doesn't seem to allow his trainer to really talk to him. And I just think that maybe the pressure of his father being there and who he was also played a role. Him trying to impress him. I think maybe down the line he want to do his own thing and drift a little bit away from his father in terms of just having that presence in his corner, just be at the fights, but just be seen and not heard so much. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because when you got too many voices in your corner, you got this guy that's a UK legend, and your father telling you one thing, and your trainer trying to say another. It just confuses you and really gets you, just twisted in the mind and just throws you off everything.
And you know what? Now, kind of like something else you said, like toward the end of the fight, he started boxing a lot better. But
Yes.
it's like if you would have started with that, you could have made that fight a lot easier on yourself. And
Yep.
and I'm not discrediting Billy Joe Saunders because he came to fight just like I expected him to. I thought Chris Eubanks was gonna step it up another level and show the world that he was ready for prime time. But I mean, as we saw, he's not ready for prime time yet. He needs some work, and he also needs to like you say, he needs to get his corner situation straight because don't get me wrong, respects to your father. Your father was a solid fighter, but hey, look, tell pops it's time to sit in the crowd and let your trainer do his job, what he's supposed to be doing.
And here's
Yep.
another. Hey, and here's another thing that I kind of want to touch on. Because a lot of, I guess a lot of what's been going on lately is if you drop one fight, then you're done. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's at a point in his career where he can fix the wrongs that he did in that one fight without
I
it really
agree.
affecting his career. So
Hmm.
if I'm Eubanks, I look at this and I don't go backwards. I find a way to go forward. And I'm really hoping that people don't just look at this defeat that he got and just toss him to the side because I think he has a lot of talent and he really can turn it around.
I agree. The piggyback off. Go ahead, Mouse.
To add what John said, um, I think the ones who always put that one and done shit is the fans. And as long as the fighter,
The casuals, it's the casuals, not the fans.
no, that's what I'm saying. I say fans loosely.
Okay, okay.
But we'll say casuals. As long as the fighter, um, into that factor, it's like you said, he's young enough to make the corrections. You know, remember you got guys like Soto Carras, Ray Beltran, who lost a couple of fights earlier, came back, and then went on like a 6-7 fight win streak. You know,
Right.
Uh-huh.
it's not a lot of these guys. Once they lose, their mental state goes into that. You know, you can't. Guys like a Canelo who lost to Floyd at a young age. That's good for you. That's your learning progress. Eubanks, he's still young enough to get it corrected. Don't like I'm hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, he was a hype job." How the hell was he a hype job? He wasn't even like, you know what I mean, bro over
Yeah.
here like, he was. They were looking
Exactly.
at him, like, oh, he's a possible, problem at this weight, but hype job. Maybe his father. That's it. But as a fighter, these fighters really just need to commit to themselves and just getting back in the gym and correcting what they need to correct. All these fans need to stop harassing fighters for one loss.
Oh yeah, let me damn, what I was about to piggyback off. You speaking of that, people are quick to use at the performance of certain fighters, they quick to use you great, or you quick to use after a loss that you're a hype job, and you gotta speak with a open mind and understand that this fight game is tough. It's a fight by fight, judgment on them. You know what I'm saying? Because styles make fights, off nights happen, and just things happen. So you can't call a fighter a hype job after losing a close fight that could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't call a fighter a great fighter just because he won a terrific fight or he dominated a fight. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? It also in terms of the what Miguel was saying with the one loss, messes up the mentality. It also depends on who's in your corner and are they gassing them up or are they being real with them? You know what I'm saying? If his father is telling him, you know what, you took that L, but this is what you have to do to get back to where you was, then he should take that in stride and put it use it as motivation. But if he's telling them, you know what, you steal this and you steal that, that's giving him false confidence and giving him half truths. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
all fighters it's a mental thing. With Canelo, he took that loss in stride and he just said, he decided he wanted to be better. So some fighters want to learn from it. Some fighters just want to, say, well, I was robbed and I'm gonna still do what I did and hopefully I get a different outcome.
The disappointing part with Canelo is that unfortunately his trainers can't help him get any further. So it's like you have a fighter who wants to improve and show he's better, and he's only gonna go so far with his trainers. As opposed to Eubanks, who has his father, and I don't know if his father is the right guy for his corner. But like you said, simply on the fact that I just think some of these guys that were really big in the game, they sometimes feel that it's them that's in there. You know what I mean, they sometimes forget that it's not them that's fighting. That fighter mentality never leaves them.
Hmm.
So, he may need to evaluate, his corner like you said, but man, I really hope that he do come back strong because he's a really good talent at that weight.
Yes, he is.
I would hate to see him go down that road of, just being a journeyman.
I doubt that he'll become a journeyman. Obviously he's gonna get tested by a puncher, and we got to see what the chin is and other things because other tests gonna rise throughout his career. But like I said, if he continue the solid foundation he's on, you know what I'm saying, and decide, to do his own thing, not distance himself from his father, like no have no say so, but just because you was a good fighter or a great fighter don't make you a great trainer or whatnot. And,
Exactly.
and just like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., you know what I'm saying, he didn't inherit all the talent that his father had. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like, well, he's bigger than me, he's shorter than me, so he doesn't have all the physical characteristics that I had. So, we got to teach him another way to be great or be just as effective as I was. So, it's just it's got to be a balance between the relationship of father son duos or whatever or trainer whoever.
I just hope that these guys understand, remember, Muhammad Ali lost to Joe Frazier. That was the first time he lost,
Yeah,
and after that, he came back and beat Joe Frazier two more times after that. Kept fighting to become, the greatest boxer in a lot of people's eyes, and he finished off his boxing career with like 6 losses. It's okay for you to take a couple losses, as long as you keep fighting and demonstrate your level. People
yep,
respect that more than a lot of these guys out there.
definitely agree with that.
Okay. All right. What was I say? Now it's time to like switch it up. We're gonna talk about Jason Velez and Evgeny Gradovich. And with this one, hey, I'll start this one out.
All right.
Me personally, like I say, overall, I felt like I say it was an extremely close fight, and I felt it could have kind of went either way or either a draw. But me myself, I mean, the way I looked at it is the first 4 rounds, Velez won. Then Velez won, I think either round 6 or 7, if I'm like one of those rounds. And then he took the championship rounds. If you count that, that's 7 rounds.
Yeah.
So I mean, as solid as an effort as Evgeny Gradovich put towards the second half of the fight, I had him losing 115, 113. But I mean, I can't argue with a draw because I mean it was that type of fight. But the judge who had it 117, 110, I'm not sure what the hell fight he was watching. I'm not at all. That threw me for a loop.
You know how these judges are, man. You know how they are. You know, I didn't watch the fight, so I can't really comment on it. But I hear a lot of things. I heard that he dominated. Velez. I heard that it was draw. I heard that it was a 3-point win for one fighter, the other fighter. But I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I heard it was a rough fight to really judge and really to watch. So maybe they got to do it again and set the record straight.
Hey, I would definitely love to see a rematch of that fight. I would love to see a rematch.
I have Velez winning as well. It's not and not what I mean, not because he's Puerto Rican, but
No, we know, Mouse. We know you ain't biased.
you know Um, no,
Hey,
it's just what Mike said. I thought a lot of people made it closer because they were saying, "Oh, that Velez's face said different." But you gotta understand something. This is what I try to tell people. Some guys swell up faster than others, and it may not
hmm
necessarily mean that a guy's hitting harder or that a guy is being more aggressive or anything like that. Like Cotto, you could cut Cotto up so fast with like 4 punches and he's already swelling up. You know, some of
Right.
these guys they like that, and I thought a lot of people were siding with I can't say that dude.
Gradovich.
Oh man.
Gradovich.
Hey, just don't call him pornography.
Yeah,
Pornography.
a lot of people were siding with him because a lot of people's statements after that fight was, "Oh, if you look at Velez's face, that will tell you the story of the
Right.
fight." Oh, it,
That's
it,
the
it
most dumbest statement I ever heard in boxing.
exactly, and it's like if you look at the body work that Velez put in and at the pace that they were going, Velez to me edged it out just a little bit. But it
Right.
was overall it was a good fight. You know what I mean? I hope that they go at it again. I mean, for a draw. I mean, dude, what? Redeem yourself and at least.
Okay. JG.
I had it a little bit opposite of you guys. I actually had it 115, 113. Me and Smooth Cat actually were messaging each other throughout the whole fight. And I thought Gradovich edged it out slightly. Nothing wrong with a draw to me. That bad scorecard, yeah, you got to throw it out the window. The one thing that stood out to me is, yes, I know that Velez, he jumped on him real early, but there were times where there were some rounds that were just hard to score, where both guys were hitting each other just as much.
Yeah.
And the reason that I would give it to Gradovich over Velez wasn't, I mean, it was because I felt that at certain times Velez looked like he was giving up ground. And sometimes when you look like you're giving up ground, you got to score rounds based on which one would I rather be. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure as a boxer, you don't want to ever give up ground. So whenever it was close, it's like there were a couple of instances where I had to score for Gradovich because I felt that he was the stronger fighter at certain times. Early on, it was Valance, and he ended up taking it, the championship rounds. But I had a 7-5 for Gradovich.
But overall, I'll say this, and I mean, this is like no disrespect to either one of those guys, because I believe both are good fighters, but I don't see them competing on the level with Vasyl Lomachenko's, Nicholas Walters. I mean, the Johnny Gonzalez, the type of power Johnny Gonzalez possesses in one punch
He knocked both of
is
them out. He'll knock both of them out.
is definitely possible. It is
Especially
definitely possible.
Gradovich, man, because Gradovich comes straight forward, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I can say this: Gradovich, somewhat the way he throws punches, and I mean he's not just like him, but he puts me in the mind of Paul Williams with his activity.
Uh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, he does. He's an active fighter. Again, that
Yeah,
is the case.
throwing 1,000 punches in fights landed. I'll be like, oh man, dude, he be throwing when he's
Yeah,
once he once he get in his rotation, I mean he going nonstop.
But he can be. I can see him being set up with a good short left hook though.
Me too.
On Gonzalez though.
Shit, somebody
I,
gonna put him out.
I
exactly.
think
Somebody.
so
I
too.
don't know who it is.
Just
Is
remember,
it?
Paul Williams was doing all them things until he met Sergio Martinez, and Sergio Martinez caught him with that sleeper punch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
he did it all.
was.
He did, but he did it to him in the first fight. So you know what I'm saying. It took Sergio 2 fights to get that shot down. But you know he did pay for it. His was shorter and quicker, and Paul paid the price. And, you know what I'm saying. But Gradovich, he leans over when he punches, man. You know he leans in, and that's an easy target for
Exactly.
somebody that can sidestep, take a step back, and land that beautiful left or right hook or whatever it is.
Uh huh. Hey, like I say, I like Gradovich as a fighter, but man, those defensive flaws, dude.
I love to see him get with somebody like a maybe Nazim Richardson or not Virgil Hunter, but somebody that's more that can get his defense on point because he's not a bad fighter at all. You know what I'm saying?
He surely is
A
not.
little more head movement and foot movement, and I think he'd be okay.
But I mean,
I agree.
Valance had some defensive flaws too, and,
Yes, he does.
and I mean, like it might not have even looked like for real. It might not have seemed like Gradovich was hitting him very hard, but to judges and like a guy like me that's watching the fight and is very close, if I'm seeing that his punches are looking like they're knocking you back further than what they should be, you know, I mean, you know what I mean. They may not have even been affecting him like that,
Yeah.
but it looked like he was at times. Gradovich was hitting him with the cleaner shots, and it looked like he was hitting him flush at times. So Velez too, he's a good young
It
fighter,
looks
but
good to the judges.
yeah,
It
exactly.
definitely does.
So Velez has to get that cleaned up a little bit because I think that I told you it a couple times that I felt like he had his head up a little bit too high. He didn't move it enough. So
Yeah. He another thing with Velez comes across. He kind of the thing with him. It's like he was throwing so many punches early. It's like later on in the fight he was able to still throw, but he was like on his second win by then.
Uh,
Man, I mean honestly, if Gradovich had a little bit more power, I think he would have knocked Velez out. Cause, but I do like the way Velez stayed composed, even though he was extremely looking tired. I like the way he stayed composed.
Man,
So
all I gotta say is, where are my Puerto Rican boxers like the Trinidads and the thing, man? I miss those days, man. all we got now is Verdejo, and it just seems like all our other. I mean, we got a couple young prospects that are coming up, but it just seems like they just hit their like Valera. Man, I've watched him for a while now, and I saw him making improvements, but then it just seems like then he just reaches a stalemate, and it's yeah, I'm not. Well, I don't want to discredit him or discourage him from you know what I mean going forward, but it just seems like he's at a point in his career, and the thing is he's so young, you know what I mean, and he's at an early stage in his career where it really they should really just be making the adjustments to thing, but then you look at that division and it's like even if you make those adjustments, can he still hang with those guys? And you know, 95% of the time he can't. You know, even
Yeah.
like Mares, I felt would destroy them too. You know, so it's like, where do you go from here? As you know what I mean? And my thing is, Kodo promotes these guys. How much does Kodo invest in these guys? You know, I never see Kodo really talking about anything, you know what I mean, with these guys. I see him take pictures and all that, but I mean, how much time is Kodo really investing with these guys? And you know, and does it have any effect on these guys? I mean, we haven't had no. Last time I heard, I mean, even these legendary Puerto Rican fighters, like man, they should really be coming out helping these guys out. Like the last guy I heard that helped somebody was Trinidad trying to help Lopez out, and that didn't go so well.
You got
Yeah,
Danny
what you about?
Garcia, man. You're Barica, Danny Garcia.
Yeah, but he's not a real Puerto Rican like from the island. He's
Man, he speak a little English, I mean Spanish, so you know.
Golovkin speak better
Hey,
Spanish than.
wait. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, Big Cool. You said Danny Garcia speaks Spanish. How about CCC?
Yeah, I'm just being funny. That was funny. That's horrible, man. I don't know. I guess he ain't. He's not Puerto Rican then, because you got to be better than that, man. Your dad speaks it fluently, and your mom, where you come up at doing it? I don't know. That's just
Hey,
backwards.
he said he's born in Philly.
I'm okay, but there's a lot of people that's born in here, man. I'm pretty sure some black people that can speak better Spanish than that. They were born in
Right.
wherever. You know what I'm saying?
Know what? It was just kind of sad that you knew for months you were going to Puerto Rico. Shit, you could have bought yourself the Rosetta Stone or something. You know,
Exactly.
I got the app on the iPhone or whatever phone you got.
he like
Exactly.
no, there was no excuse for that shit, and to go into the island that you're trying to win over these fans, and you look like a straight jackass, bro. Like he really looked it really bad in front of that just you know, it's sad because he's a good fighter. You know, what I mean, he's a solid fighter, and obviously, you know, he's the
He looked bad trying to speak Spanish, and he looked bad in the ring facing Herrera.
uh-huh.
It was just a double whammy.
Well, I mean, now we're gonna get to the big fight from the weekend. Well, you had Terrence Crawford outbox, and in my opinion, as I said on my video, furthermore solidify himself as the fighter of the year. But first, we're gonna get into that fight. Then we're gonna talk about fighter of the year.
Start with me, man. I was the one that well Miguel was he wasn't convicted as me, but I was the one that called this domination. I, I,
Well, hey, you took the stand. Let's go, Big Cool.
well, like I said, man, that Terrence guy's my guy. I mean Terrence Crawford, my fault. Terrence Crawford is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he proved again that he's gonna be a future pound for pound star. Um, he's a big draw in Omaha, so you can continue to expect big fights there, or they're gonna travel with him wherever he fights at. He has power, like I said. He's calm, cool, and collected. He has the charisma, the silent confidence. Don't say too much. He's just a well-rounded fighter.
Let's go, Big
But
Cool.
what'd you say?
No. Go ahead.
But like I said, he's a well-rounded fighter. Can do a lot of things. Still needs to improve certain things. Was getting hit with shots. But I think that's because he decides to take his foot off the gas sometimes and gets a little lackadaisical. But as he moves up to 140, I think there's a lot of interesting matchups that he could be in, but likely won't because of certain fighters being managed by certain managers or a manager. So we can kill that. What we want to see, but what we can potentially see, we can see him facing Provatnikov or Vargas or Pacquiao and whatnot. So
See,
those
you know what? Now, in the case of that Pacquiao fight, I mean, sorry for cutting you up, but that's one of them situations. I think people should. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Terrence Crawford a lot, but don't rush the kid to
no
stardom because that's how they get ruined.
no what I'm saying. No, I'm just naming out. I was just naming out guys that he's likely to fight. I'm not saying in any order. I'm just saying the
Okay,
guys that he's most likely to fight, which are top ranked guys. Maybe Matisse, because Matisse is the number one ranked guy at the WBO, and they can do a purse bid. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford being the 35 pounder, WBO champion, automatically gets the number one ranking or gets the number one shot. At the WBO title in the new division. But outside of Matisse, I don't expect him to fight Garcia because he's with Heyman, Broner with Heyman, Peterson with Heyman, Khan with Heyman. You know what I'm saying? Or he at welterweight. So it's really gonna be just Vargas, Herrera, or the guy he's fighting. I'm not gonna say his last name because I can't say it. That's a dang shame. But the up and coming prospect that was heralded, I think, out of Phoenix. That guy, and so
wait. Who?
the Mauricio Herrera, Jose
Oh,
Benavides,
Benavidez.
Benavides, yeah,
Yeah.
he gets that guy. So like it's really it's exciting and intriguing, but it's kind of not because like we still battling the Cold War is over, but Bob Arum and Al Heyman can't stand each other, so it's still kind of going. So it's like there's gonna be much left to be desired. But he's still a star, and I expect him to beat most of those guys at 140, except maybe Manny Pacquiao. Depends on when he get them.
Okay. Go ahead, JG.
Uh, from what I saw, I thought that it would be a lot tougher than what it was. I thought that it was. I mean, I thought that the scorecards would be a little bit wide. I called it 9 rounds, I think, to 3. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be tough rounds that Beltran was going to give him. But I mean, Terrence just he stayed at his distance. Every time Beltran tried to come in, he turned him. He tied him up. He did. I mean, he pretty much stole the show. I mean, yeah, he got with a couple of flush shots, which he can clean up once he goes and looks at the tape. But I mean, you know, to me, I'm not ready to coordinate him to be, that guy just yet. I think that fight with Beltran was just a stepping stone. That was just a fight to get him in the game. Now that once he hits that 140, this is when stuff is going. And I mean, I think that I think that he has all the tools to survive. But you never know, man. I mean, it's gonna be some tough fights at 140, and hopefully, some of these barriers are broken down, and we see him against some of the top guys, like like Jarrell was talking about, Peterson. Braun is a dream fight for me. That's
Yeah,
really the fight that I want to see. Most likely, we're not going to see it. We're not going to see him against Danny Garcia. But next, Jesse Vargas. Vargas looked pretty good, and I think that they can market that probably in Omaha if they brought that back. I mean, that's an easy
yeah,
fight to make. Set that up with
yeah.
Vargas. You got two undefeated fighters. Let them go at it. I mean, it'll sell out. I mean, the crowd, they already saw Vargas. I mean, they're gonna come for Crawford. So I mean, why not make it happen?
Hey, can I ask y'all a question real quick?
Go ahead.
What do y'all think could be the barrier that breaks the Al Heyman Bob Arum lack of a relationship? Do you think it'll take a top rank fighter signing with Al Heyman, kind of forcing his hand, not to spite Al, I mean not to spite Bob Arum, but to just give himself a better opportunity to fight another top fighter from 140? So would you, or any division, you think somebody from top rank is gonna have to sign with Al Heyman and just look at it like, this is what I want to do. I want to fight the best, so I can't really fight the best if y'all not gonna negotiate and talk to each other.
You
Or would
know
that go ahead?
what I think is going to have to happen. I think a fighter is going to have to come out himself and say, you know what, I'm tired of this. I want this guy, and if you can't give me this guy, release me from my contract. I'll do my own management. I mean, it's like the fighters are going to have to force them to work together. And then with those two, I mean, don't get me wrong. Bob Arum has done a lot of great things for boxing, and Al Heyman is doing some good things himself. He's doing bad as well, and Bob Arum has done bad as well too. But flat out and simple, they gotta leave their egos at the door because
Yeah.
boxing is suffering because of you two you,
Egomaniac.
right
Egomaniacs.
two egotistical
Maniac.
guys.
Yeah.
All that oh, I gotta be bigger than him. Oh, he think he's bigger than me. I got more money than him. I'm gonna have more money than him. Look, the sport of boxing is suffering because of y'all and this foolishness. So, I mean, like I say, they need to be able to sit down at the table like men and discuss things the way you used to do back in the old days.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take. It doesn't even take a top rank. I'm with Mike. It just need. You just need one fighter to just come out. I mean, kind of like a Keith Thurman, who came out and
Right,
said, Al Heyman does not pick my fights. I pick my fights. He advises me, and I do what's best for my career. We just need more guys in the Heyman boxing group to really just come out and step up and really take that stand because at the end of the day, yeah, I understand, these guys want to get paid, but I mean, let's be honest. Some of these guys are getting like 4 million in one fight, and then they still fight another time. They fight twice a year, and they're getting like at least like 8, 10 million off of two fights. Like that's more than enough money for you to live for a 12 round fight, bro. Yeah, I mean,
But
like,
but
right.
but what I was just trying to say is like, damn, maybe missed my train of thought. Miles, it's not your fault, but I'm just saying, of course, the money gonna always have to be right. Don't matter who you promoted by, or who you managed by. You know what I'm saying? Because as you move up the ranks, the money just has to be right for the risk. Not saying that you still you shouldn't fight the guy, but your money. If you fighting a Lucas Matisse or somebody, you gonna want to be compensated nicely because what I'm saying. He's not an easy guy to fight. We know what he possesses. Anything can happen in the ring. You can be permanently injured. You can be dead. You know what I'm saying? And you can get killed. And you got to have something left for not only you, but if you don't live, your family to be settled on for the rest of or a good period of time. So it's always gonna be about the business, man. It's gonna always be about the business. But
no doubt.
what can we get over the hump with these guys to fight? You know what I'm saying? Is it back end guaranteed money or is it something? I don't know, man. It's just kind of frustrating
Well, I
to
mean, Big Cool.
yeah
I'm gonna say something that I said that I wasn't gonna talk on,
yeah. Oh man, I
but
brought it out you.
but I mean, honestly, Mayweather and Pacquiao fight each other. I think that all this stuff stops. I think that everybody's looking at those guys. Those guys are making the most money. They're setting the standard for the sport, and guys are following them. And I think
Yeah.
that once those guys come across the line, then I think that and once that and together, uh, I think that that's what it's going to take because see the thing is right now they're making that selfish money. But once you make the biggest fight in history and you make the most money in history, it's hard not to say, you know what, I'm not going to work with that guy in the future because we just
Right.
got paid together. So I think that
Hmm.
either that fight is going to have to be the barrier, or I think it's going to take a guy like Canelo that's probably going to break it down, and guys going to start following him once
Yep.
Mayweather and Pacquiao leave. But
So
that's just my
Canelo
two.
might so Canelo might have a LeBron effect on the boxers. You know what I'm saying? LeBron leaves by example. He signed the shorter deals. Max out. I mean, opt out of 3 years. I'm guessing Canelo or somebody. eh, I'm guessing somebody gonna have to. Yeah, I guess somebody gonna have to be like that then. I guess.
No LeBron mentioning.
But I guess that's Mayweather though. I guess that's Mayweather though. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
guess Mayweather already. It's come then really. What's to say Canelo won't do the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Nah,
But
it's kind
I
it's
mean,
kind of different.
in essence, Canelo already showed the desire to want to fight any and everybody
Well,
in
so
any
far,
right.
because
So
Mayweather did too early.
I mean, but I mean, if you look at the difference though, Canelo been Like you said, he been fighting pro since about 15, 16 years old. Already at 40 some fights. I mean, Canelo. I mean, he's the type of guy. He's gonna have one of those old school type records. Uh, 88 wins, 4 or 5 losses,
Uh,
69 knockouts, and all that. He's gonna have one of those type of records already. I mean, you can see this kid ain't nothing but 23, 24 years old. And I believe Canelo's the type of fighter. I believe he's gonna fight well into his 30s, late 30s, 38, 39 years old.
hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, he can have that longevity, man. And we just need somebody that's good.
You know
That's
what?
gonna lead by example. Like Manny Pacquiao kind of is that guy, but he also kind of doesn't have come. He come off as doesn't have a backbone. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of falls short as being a leader. And Floyd just shows that he does what he wants to do, but it's not always the best legacy wise. You know what I'm saying? If y'all get what I'm saying, we need somebody that's
No,
gonna do
most of.
both fight the best and be on his own.
I think it's going to
Yeah.
be guys that keep Thurman. I mean, I agree with the Canelo thing, but I really think it's going to fall down on the guys that keep Thurman. Because you remember before Winky Wright and Bernard Hopkins were really big, when nobody wanted to give Winky Wright a shot at nothing, and Winky was fighting and nobody wanted to give him, finally he was able to break out and just put his ass beating on Trinidad and put several ass beatings together, and then that's when people really started to notice like, yo, there's guys out there that deserve this. And then you started seeing Hopkins more and seeing other guys out there. I think it's down to that bullshit again. So we have guys like Keith Thurman that constantly keep falling out. That's the only way this situation is gonna get better if these guys get over this. I understand you trying to get paid against a dangerous fighter. But then you got guys like Robert Guerrero who wants to get paid $2 million to fight a nobody.
Right.
And like, there's a fine line between you fighting the number one ranked guy in your division for the belt, who is knocking everybody out, and you fighting the number 85th guy ranked in Australia who's not even ranked over here, getting paid, $4 million to do so.
I definitely agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that, Miguel. Basically what I'm saying is though, if you gonna for the guys that's fighting, constantly fighting elite level guys, you gotta compensate them well. You know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
just a guy that's fighting nobodies or C level fighters, then you need to get your tail in the ring and fight. You know what I'm saying? You an A level fighter or a B level fighter.
Boo
Why
boo.
you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? Why not? I don't know, man. It's just frustrating, man. Cause we
Very frustrating.
it just it's like no matter how much talking or how much pressure we put on these fighters, we can never ever make a fighter do what they want to do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Or do what we want them to do. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I think
mean, we can, but in that situation, it's like it's very complex. And by us being boxing fans, that means we will basically like we will be hurting ourselves to hurt them.
yeah,
Because
because
if we don't watch the event, then you sitting there like, oh man, I wonder what happened on boxing. Well, I guess I'll do this. No,
yeah,
I don't want nobody's synopsis on it. I want to see it myself.
yeah, like because we now in the boxing media. You know what I'm saying? So as we
Right.
have to cover fights, and we might not have to pay for them. You know what I'm saying? We stream or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? It just I don't know, man. I just feel that these fighters, man, they say they care for the fans, but they be lying, man. If they did, they will fight these guys. We not asking you to fight Pacquiao 100 times. We just want one fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you can do whatever you want to do after the fight. But for you not to give us that fight, or for whoever Ward and Golovkin not to fight, or whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like either fight or shut up, or retire or do something.
Well,
But
I wanted to touch on something that Miguel talked about with Keith Thurman. Now, see why? Because Keith Thurman doesn't have that. He doesn't have that following. And the thing is, when you bring up a Winky Wright didn't have that following either. He needed a Shane Mosley, a guy who did have
Right.
that following, had that pedigree to really take that fight. Because no matter what people want to say about Shane Mosley was built from that cloth. that old school where everybody, fought each other. Shaq
Exactly.
Mosley's resume, is up there. He's fought some of the best fighters ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, which one of these guys is who has that following is going to take that Thurman fight?
You got you go back to Crawford then, you know what I'm saying? Crawford has a big following, so you go back to him or Canelo. Well, Canelo has proven it, but I guess you want to see him fight Golovkin or Quillen, somebody, you know what I'm saying, bigger, I guess, than him. But back to Crawford, man, as far as an American guy, you know what I'm saying, he's a young African American, talented guy, seems to be humble, ultra talented. You know what I'm saying? We only time will tell if he's willing to be consistently fighting the best. But from what I'm saying, his last two fights at Omaha, he looked like a cash cow if he's promoted right and continue to win. So hopefully he's the guy that sets the trend for upcoming American fighters to, follow the lead. You know what I'm saying? You got Broner who will fight anybody, maybe. I mean, he fought McDonough, but he's just a Mayweather clone. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, but just he's not his own man when it comes to how he carry himself. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I think this is something I was touching on with a few people. I feel that Terrence Crawford is being promoted as the anti-Broner.
I can see
So,
that.
so that's the reason when I made the collage the other day, and I was asking people with Crawford moving up in weight, who is somebody you want to see him fight? And I'll continuously say I believe the biggest fight for Terrence Crawford at 140 is Adrian Broner, and it could be promoted as good versus evil. I mean, however you want to put it, because like you said, a quote you said from the last hangout. Terrence Crawford is like the Tim Duncan of boxing, and you know what?
Hmm.
I mean, that was so fitting. And then if you look at it, it's like Adrian Broner is. I mean, I don't know who to compare him to NBA wise because he's the Kevin Garnett of
He's the
boxing.
Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
He's the Dennis Rodman of the NBA. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
no.
Nah.
That's Mayorga. That's Mayorga.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett fits perfect. Fits perfect.
Bro, I think he is.
What you say, John?
You know what I'm
He
saying?
said he's Lance Stevenson of the boxing.
Oh, okay. Hey, now the reason why I use KG because I'm trying to get two guys who are around the same size because these two going to be in the same weight class. That's why I use KG. And
KG dirty though. He dirty when he talked it. You know what?
yeah, hey, Broner is too.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you compared him to him because
Right,
he get down and dirty when he start talking about people's wives and
right.
stuff. So
Hey,
that'll be
I
a
took
great
your
fight.
belt and I took your girl. He go to he get personal with you.
Man, that would be a great fight, man. That would be a great man. I would pay good money to go see that fight, dude. Like
Yo, that's a pay per
that
view
would be,
fight right there.
whew,
That is a
man.
pay per view fight. Look,
I agree.
I would much rather pay for that fight. I would have much rather paid whatever $75 HD to see that than to see Mayweather Maidana or Manny Pacquiao Algieri any day.
Definitely.
I agree.
yeah, but they
Them
got,
fights.
if they're really doing this anti-Broner bullshit with Crawford, they got to keep doing that because at the end of the day, man, you need the good and you need the bad in boxing. I mean, that's what
Right.
sells. You want to see. That's why people buy Mayweather's fight because they want to see him get knocked out. They want to see him lose. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, that's what most people that are buying his fight is for. Yeah, that's what sells in boxing. That's why you got the whole Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Mayweather's the bad guy, Pacquiao's the good guy. He's the guy that's going around bullshit, and then Mayweather's the one that's over here beating women. That's according to
Ah,
Oh,
oh man,
No,
dang.
I
well,
know, but he's right though.
right.
He's absolutely right. Like if I go in the
Right.
office,
let's be
if I
real.
go,
That's according to all the casuals, that's what you hear. When you talk about
Exactly.
Mayweather and Pacquiao, you hear Mayweather's the bad guy that's always beating females. He's not around for his kids. He's spending his money and all this shit. You never hear nothing positive about Mayweather. But then they talk about Pac and it's always, he's doing this for the Philippines and he's the good guy. You need good versus evil. That's what the world feeds on. So
Yep.
I just think you need great versus great. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you need it. It can be two. Who was good guys? Joe Frazier. Well, Muhammad Ali
No,
was.
I'm about to say Muhammad Ali was the bad guy. Joe
Muhammad
Frazier.
Yeah,
Ali
yeah.
is one
Well,
of the ultimate bad
well,
guys.
okay. Who? What can I say? Israel Vasquez. And well, they not as great, but they were great fighters.
But
Who can I
see,
say that? All
they
right.
not on that caliber though.
That's why I just said. Who? Give me an example of great versus great.
Duran versus Leonard, but I think Duran was the bad
Was
guy. Leonard was
Durant
the
was the
good guy.
bad guy.
But I'm saying they
Exactly.
both good guys, or they just not evil. You know what I'm saying? I guess Mayweather.
And then you can even look at this. Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard was the bad guy. Hagler was the good guy.
No, but
Or
no, but you know what I'm saying? Not like, come on.
I
But Sugar.
Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard was good versus good though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Nope.
that's what I'm saying.
Nope.
I'm not saying
Nope.
like to. I'm not
Nope.
saying.
Because
Listen, Mike, listen, Mike.
hold on. Because by Sugar Ray Leonard being the because okay, Bob Arum was bringing Tommy Hearns up. Tommy Hearns is the big bad wolf, and Sugar Ray Leonard was scared of him and all that type of stuff. So with that being said, it was like Tommy Hearns was the bad guy and Sugar Ray was the good guy now.
No, but what I'm saying though, Mike, I think Jones agree with me. I'm not saying like it's different to act on something. It's different. Like what Manny Pacquiao's doing to get a fight with Mayweather, that's him acting. But I'm saying overall, good guys like really not into trash talking. They do it because they got to. I'm thinking Hearns and Sugar Ray more similar. Like they real good guys. You won't catch them talking down on each other. You know what I'm saying? Other than saying I'm gonna beat them or knock them out. But they're not gonna say, well, what about your wife or what about your kids and things like that. I'm just saying two great fighters that's in their prime. That's what we need. We need all great fighters fighting. You know, of course you want a bad versus good guy, but I
Right.
think we can all say, you know, for 100% that we rather just it could be two quiet guys that's lethal in the ring fighting instead of all this hoopla you getting talking back and forth and fights not being made.
But it sells though. It sells. I mean
It does
that's the main
it
thing.
does it
Because
does
it
but
generates money.
it
It
does
does
but,
you
sell.
got
but
Look at Gotti and
Muhammad.
Ward. Oh, but look at Gotti and Ward.
yeah.
Those two loved each other, but they would you get them in the ring, they kill each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's
I
why
Yeah,
think we
but
that's
just
why
need
look
more action in the ring than outside.
even them two weren't at that level where you have like Pacquiao and Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you look at Muhammad Ali and Frazier. How much shit did Muhammad Ali talk on Frazier? I mean, called him a monkey, went racial and everything. You know what I mean? And that sold. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that we should need it. What I'm saying is to the casual fan, that sells. So a guy like a
Right.
Broner benefits off of that better than most guys do. Because most good, I mean, you have a lot of good boxers, like boxers that don't say much, that are humble and stuff, but they don't really get that acknowledgement because they're more on that. I mean, the world feeds off of negativity. So,
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know,
yeah, but that's see, but see, that's what's messed up about the sport. You know what I'm saying?
but it's
You
something
know,
that's always been in the sport. I mean, that's something that's been in the sport since before. Yeah, since before the ring. You know, when they were still doing the Queensberry rules and fighting without gloves and all that. You know,
Right.
you always had that good and that. You know, it's unfortunate that it's in the sport, but that's just how it goes.
I
Exactly.
agree. I'm last thing I'm gonna say. It's just I just think it. Like I said, I want a good promotion. I want good trash talk, but sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you can overkill with the trash talk. You know what I'm saying? Because all these fighters just say what they say. You know what I'm saying? The pre the build up to the fight be better than the actual fight. And I would just rather them be quiet and then produce a fight like, Ali, Frazier won, the third fight, you know what I'm saying, Gotti Ward, fights like that and just fight, just at least get in the ring and fight. Cause it's been over the years, it's been a lot of fights that haven't been made that we all wanted to see based off whatever reason. It's just a lot of talking now and not enough fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
From the top guys.
I definitely agree with you. We're gonna we gotta switch the topic up a little bit, but for now, okay. Now I'm gonna put this out here because we were having a discussion on social media about the fight of the year because my video caught attention of a few people saying that my opinion of Terrence Crawford being showing up the fighter of the year was being biased, but the hell with that part. But anyways, overall, what I'm saying is, for you guys, who do you guys feel is the fighter of the year?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Mouse.
I'll go first since I'm light skinned brother in here. So
You
nobody.
said what?
I said I'll go first since I'm the light skinned brother in here, so that
I thought I was the light skinned one.
so they can stop this biasness. Listen, a fighter of the year should be determined on the fight and the quality of the fights.
Right.
Nobody this year has fought better opposition than Crawford. I mean, he's
Thank you.
fought the top, yeah, I mean, three guys division, if not the top three guys in three fights this year. I mean, you can argue for Kovalev, yeah, yeah, he fought the great Bernard Hopkins and stuff, but I mean, up until that fight, he really had, no notable fights. His last two fights before that were against, you know, guys that most fans, well, casual fans wouldn't even know, so.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't know who Agnew was either, but you know what I'm saying.
Now me being from Illinois, I knew who Agnew was,
I know
but
who Agnew was. I didn't know who that
but the other guy, I mean, I could be honest, I still don't remember his name, and I'm far from a
It's like
casual.
Caparello.
Cavallo or something like that. Yeah.
Caparello.
was. Yeah,
Cigarello.
so it's want to give a guy for one, one fight. Yeah, I mean, he had an impressive win, but I mean, overall, fighter of the year is on the year. And overall, the most solid resume in boxing this year was Crawford.
I agree.
And listen, that's everybody knows Beltran is my boy. Yeah, I mean, and that's coming from a diehard Beltran fan. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not. That's for people to realize, like this. You can't. We talking boxing. Let's be real about it. No other guy in boxing did this year took a division and wiped it out like Crawford did.
Well. Let me jump in before John Jay get in. I think Crawford is the fighter of the year. And first off, we at CBT are not biased. We're the furthest thing from it. But you know, Crawford fought three quality guys. Kovalev fought one great guy. I'm not going to let B Hop, as great as he is, one of my favorite fighters, I'm not going to let that single win outdo what Crawford did. Crawford went to Scotland. He beat Burns handily in his backyard. He dominated and sparked out Gamboa after struggling early in a beautiful performance where he made the correct adjustment and showed he had some dog in him. And then
Yeah.
Beltran this Saturday, he just took it to him. He showed everything you want to see in fighting a guy that's dangerous as Beltran. So for him to be said, well, he's not good or he shouldn't win it because he didn't fight a Hopkins. Well, he's just starting off in his career. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he has plenty of more time. Great fighters to fight. To when you can say, okay, he got that signature win. Before as this year, he fought three top guys, and he dominated them handily, and he should be, the fighter of the year. I'm not gonna make an argument if Kovalev wins it because Hopkins, the victory does hold weight. But
It definitely does.
if you being real about it though, it don't matter how he dominated Hopkins because a lot of people thought Hopkins was gonna win, myself included. I thought he was gonna take Kovalev out, not knock him out, but drown him late in the later rounds. But that didn't happen. But Crawford, he came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He beat Prescott last year, and he beat the other guy. You know what I'm saying? And he just continued to get better and better. And I think that he should be the fighter of the year, because his three victories outweigh the one great victory over Bernard Hopkins that Kovalev had.
And then also to add on something you said, I mean, it's just funny now. Before the fight with Gamboa, it was a lot of people saying how Crawford couldn't compete. Crawford wasn't ready for that type of fight. But once Crawford goes in and wins, now you want to, oh, Gamboa was small, Gamboa was this. Hey, we knew before the fight even happened that Crawford was bigger than him from Jump Street. So, I mean, if Gamboa signed on the line to take that fight with him, then, I mean, we as boxing fans, you can't make no excuse.
You must
It's,
accept it for what it is.
exactly.
To add to what you're saying, I want to touch on the situation as well too, because a lot of people had Hopkins winning that fight, and then he got dominated, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, he was a 50-year-old man. We all knew that was gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop.
Right.
That's
Nah,
casual shit right there. That's casual shit.
exactly. You know, that Bernard, listen, you guys been for how many years? You dominated guys like this before. You know, we all need
Nobody.
to stop jumping to these assumptions of what guys. You know what I mean? Like Crawford when he fought Gamboa, shit. I think did I pick Gamboa for that fight? No, I think I picked Crawford. But I was rooting for Gamboa because I like Gamboa. But like Mike said, once you sign that paper, there's no more excuses. You as a fighter, you have to sign the contract. Once you sign that contract, nobody.
Because it's like Gamboa showed a good account of himself. You know, he was dominating parts of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Speed. He was outboxing him. He stunned him late before he got knocked out. So you know, you can't make that excuse for a guy that won a gold medal, that did good things early on in his career, who's not a chopped liver. He's a level talent. You know what I'm saying? He just ran up against a bigger guy, so who happened to be bigger and could match his skill. In the skill department. So that's more or less taking credit from Crawford, you know what I'm saying, and Kovalev for blaming age and his victory over Hopkins. When Hopkins said it, I feed on undefeated fighters. So, you know what I'm saying? You just, in hindsight, it's easy to say, well, you know what? If he would have fought, damn, Mikey Garcia, he would have lost, or Kovalev would have fought Stevenson, he would have lost. So it just, I don't know, man. People just pick and choose, what bandwagon they want to jump on.
You know what? To
Go.
add to that Gamboa situation, what a lot of people don't understand is, Gamboa was a beast at 126. You went up 10 pounds, and that makes a big difference. And on top of that, Gamboa's always had some shaky training camps. This training camp going into the Crawford fight, he didn't have, he wasn't training with Mayweather all the time, and then he was kind of training himself. That should never be something to take away from the opponent. I mean, you have to train the way you have to train. Crawford's can't train for Gamboa, whether or not Gamboa trained or not. You as a fighter have to train for your fight. It's
Exactly.
not your fault if another guy comes in there and doesn't, perform the way they were supposed to, or if, you're bigger than him or anything like that. When you move up in weight, you gotta understand now you're fighting guys that are bigger than you. Gamboa is a naturally
It's
smaller guy.
it's like football, man. You play who's on your schedule. You can't worry about playing the Patriots if you got to face the Browns now. You know what I'm saying? You worry about who you got that week, that fight, and then once that's over, then you move on. But like I said, commend both fighters. Gamboa for not making excuses, and for Crawford doing what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what greatness is. It's not also be guys that yeah, equally mad. You to be great. To first, you got to be good. To be good, you got to beat the fighters you're supposed to beat. To be great, you got to dig deeper to beat guys that's on your level. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do to progress in life in general. So whatever to those haters.
Oh, all right. Now, now we're gonna touch on the card coming up this week. We're not gonna be too long with it though, but we're gonna touch on it. So first and foremost, hey, we're not giving predictions today. We just gonna briefly talk about it, and we'll go from there. But okay, what are you guys expecting to see in the Hank Lundy versus Thomas Dulorme fight? Go ahead, Big Cool.
Man, this is the fight that I can't wait to see. Um, Hank Lundy, we've interviewed him twice. He's gave us some great, sound bites, some great, headlines. He's a talented fighter, obviously. He fought John Molina. He fought the aforementioned Ray Beltran where he lost. He's fought Jose. He's fought a lot of good fighters. Angel Santana, but I think that he's going to get the job done. I think that his activity and he kind of got an awkwardness to him. You know what I'm saying? He can go to southpaw to orthodox and vice versa. Quick hands, decent power, good footwork. I think he's going to be in and out, and I don't think that he's going to let Delorme, hold and clinch him like he did against Mayfield. So I'm expecting fireworks from both guys. I won't be surprised to see a couple knockdowns. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a good fight, man. And I'll give y'all my prediction, even though it might have sounded like it was a prediction already. But like I said, when we have another hangout, I'll give y'all my prediction. But expect a good fight from both guys.
Go ahead, JG.
What we talking about? I got temporarily cut off.
The December 6th card. We talking about Lundy. Your early takes on Lundy versus Delorme.
Honestly, Lundy versus Delorme, I think that's gonna be a scrappy ass fight, man. I mean, like a lot of people who don't follow the sport, I'm not sure if they would appreciate a fight like this. Like it's going to be a lot of grabbing, tussling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Hitting the
technical things that people won't see. Lots of shots that the refs don't see. You know what I'm saying? With the offhand, like I don't know, man. I think that this is a chance for Lundy to get back on track to where he wanted to be. He's been derailed a couple of times, but a guy like Delorme, it's not going to be an easy road, dude. I mean,
Not
I
at
think that I'm
all.
going to do a little bit more film study, like Jarrell said before I make my prediction as well. But I mean, this is a good fight to look forward to if you like that, that good 12 rounds of grinding it out. I think that that's what this is going to be. I could definitely see a couple of knockdowns, like Big Cool said. Um, but yeah, I'm just going. I'm looking forward to getting in the film room and just looking at both fighters and coming up with a pretty good assessment of what I'm going to.
Okay. Mouse.
Um, let's see. It's a tough one for me, man. I, I'm not a really big Lundy fan. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I know he brings a lot of heart and everything to the boxing ring and stuff, but I know a couple of shows ago, I don't remember who was it that said it, but somebody has said about how Lundy, he's that guy that whenever it comes to a big fight, he just doesn't show up. You know, and I just think I think that's just what I think Delorme is gonna just. I don't want to say he's gonna outbox Lundy because Lundy got some nice boxing skills. Yeah, I just think his height and his jab is gonna keep Lundy at bay. But I mean, Lundy says this is his time to step up and show the world. Sometimes that's all a guy needs is to believe that he can. It's his time, and the last time we had a guy come on to our show and say it's their time and pick thing, that was James De La Rosa, and
Yeah.
I did not pick against him. So I'm kind of iffy still on who I want to pick for that fight because I don't want to pick against Lundy, but then again, I don't want to pick against Delorme either. So you know,
I,
I'm gonna go with Delorme right now for what I mean, just based on height and his jab to win that fight for him. I think Robert Garcia is really gonna put a nice game plan for that fight. But it's gonna be a really good close fight between them. I won't be surprised if Lundy tests his Delorme's chin.
Okay.
let me chime in real quick, Smooth. I think whoever said that, I think it's an overstatement for Lundy about Lundy not performing well. I get that the Beltran fight, he dropped the ball in that fight. Let's be honest, he dropped the ball in that fight. But he defeated a Jose. Who thought he was gonna defeat the guy that gave Lucas
Hey,
Matisse a tough
he,
fight? You know
he
what I'm saying?
dominated the
Yeah,
Jose.
he dominated him. Then he beat Angel Santana, an up and coming prospect. At
Yeah.
135, and you know what I'm saying. Then he up with the John Molina fight. You know what I'm saying. That you could have let him continue. You know what I'm saying. That was just a I think we splitting hairs when we come to saying he never lives up to I guess what he says about himself. You know what I'm saying. I think that's just overstating that he fails to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying when big opportunities arise. So I think that's just kind of a little over exaggeration in my opinion.
Okay. I feel in the case of this fight, I feel it's gonna be because, but like both guys are. Okay, Delorme is a natural southpaw, and Hank Lundy is a natural southpaw as well. I believe this fight here, I think Lundy has the advantage in the southpaw stance. Now, if he switches to orthodox, I think this could be a fight where him and Delorme, like JG said, this could be one of those like a lot of clinching, a lot of rough house tactics and things of that sort. Because like I say, from having Lundy on, Lundy say he going for the kill. So I mean, he let you know his intentions right there. He's trying to score. He's trying to score a knockout on Delorme. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but those are his intentions, and we know that Delorme has that fire in him too, as we seen with the weigh-in with Mayfield, face to face, and he choking Mayfield. I mean, he basically he shows you like he got that in him as well. But like I say, with this fight, I think this fight is going to come down to which guy controls the ring and which guy establishes their game plan. Now the next fight from that card. Speaking of Mr. De La Rosa, we James De La Rosa versus Hugo Centeno. I'll start this one. That's a fight there with me. I'm kind of I, I'll say this. I feel skill wise, it's a huge disparity between these two guys, and that's no disrespect to the guy who I don't feel is as skilled. But it's a huge skill disparity, and I believe it's going to showcase big time in this fight. I also feel that I think this is a fight where you got two hungry guys, but you got one guy who seems more hungry, a guy who's really trying to establish himself because he feels this is his big opportunity to shoot his name in the mainstream. So, I, me, Norm, go ahead, be cool.
Oh well, shoot. I think James De La Rosa gonna win and win impressively. I think he both of them hungry, but I think he's starving. So I think that I think he's just not gonna let what he did in a tough fight against Angulo just go by the wayside and don't and not mean nothing. I think he's gonna continue on that success. Like I said, he gonna continue to he gonna adjust in the mistakes that he made against Angulo as far as staying on the ropes too long, taking unnecessary punishment and risk. I think he's gonna fight a more polished fight. He's gonna stick more to the, gonna continue to stick to the game plan and just not get reckless and he's gonna do it whether knockout, decision or whatever. I think he's just gonna it's gonna show another growth to the game. Now he got the big fight on a big card on Mayweather Maidana 2 on the card. So I think that the sky's the limit, for him in the junior middleweight division, man. If he continue on to what he said in the fight with Angulo, I think he should dominate this guy. And plus, he spars with the Charlos, who what better guys to spar with, than those guys.
And Erislandy Laura.
And Lara. So is he trained by Ronnie Shields or he's not?
No.
Okay, well, still he's getting knowledge from. I'm pretty sure he's getting some knowledge from Shields as well. You know what I'm saying? Some little tidbits on what he can do. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming from a good camp. He got a good solid skill set, and I think he's gonna dominate this guy and look for him to make some more noise in 2015.
Okay. Mouse.
Listen, I'm not betting against James De La Rosa for the rest of his career. I don't care what nobody say. I will not bet against that man no more. I don't like I said, man. I see him stopping this dude within 9 rounds. So I don't see it going past 9. I got James De La Rosa winning that fight, and not against you know what I mean. And it's based on what Jarrell just said. The level of sparring that he's getting is just unbelievable right now. To spar with the Charlo brothers and Lara, he's getting good work. And you're getting work from pure boxers at that. You know what I mean? Like you're getting
Spence as well, and Spence.
So these, you know what I mean? The experience between those three guys and what they bring to the table. De La Rosa is going to be a problem for anybody from 54 to 60 within the next 2 years.
I agree.
Yep.
JG.
John, are you there, John?
My bad. I was about to say, I'm sitting here talking and I'm sitting here talking on mute. But I was saying, but that goes to say, how many times do we see those guys go out there, like a Rocky Juarez, that get a lot of work, you know what I'm saying, with sparring, and you know what I'm saying, that you want them to live up to this level, and then they get knocked off by like this guy he's gonna fight. I don't
True,
see it
valid
enough.
point.
I mean, sometimes I don't know. I'm going with De La Rosa to keep the momentum going, but I'm just saying don't be surprised if something fishy happens. You know what I'm saying?
But
Hey,
Rocky Warriors always seem mentally
it's
weak to me.
boxing, and it's definitely the theater of the unexpected. So, like you say, anything can happen. Though.
Wa-
Boxing,
Warriors
fight.
Warriors always seem mentally weak to me for some reason. He always seemed to, if things not going his way, it could quickly turn from him, and I don't get that vibe from De La Rosa. You know what I'm saying? In the tough spots he had with Angulo, he didn't really get down and just start to panic. You know what I'm saying? He just went back to the corner and they reminded him, this is not a game. I'm paraphrasing what they said, but this is some
Right.
serious shit. So don't fuck around and get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to
Uh huh.
be a macho man. I don't get that machismo attitude from him that'll cost him a fight. You know what I'm saying? But you could be right. You never know.
Yeah, but you know what? It's boxing. One punch could change any fight. But the way that you gotta understand, this dude has lost before, so he know. You know what I mean? You know what not to take away, you know what I mean, from it's not just the level of work that he's getting. He knows what it feels like to lose. He knows what it feels like to have to, work harder to get. I mean, so it's a guy that soundly mentally he knows what he wants for his career, and it seems like he's working with the right people now at the point of his career where everything is falling through for him. And sometimes that's all you need is that good break to go on a nice little run. I mean, like I said, I see him being a problem. I don't see him being the top guy at 54 and 60, but I see him being a problem for anybody, for the next few years within those weight divisions. Now, if he can get over the hump with the top guys, that's a whole different story. No offense, James. I love you, bro.
Oh man, hey, yeah, that definitely is, you know what I'm saying. But I think that if he's holding his own in sparring, I haven't heard that he got dominated by the guys in sparring. So, that says a lot. If he's holding his own against the Charlos and Laras and Spencers, man, that tells you that he's capable of being there. It's just all of it's getting over, like you said, Miguel, getting over the hump, and actually, if it come down to fighting him in a professional fight, can he stick to the game plan? Because you're not gonna always get a knockout. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna fight Angulos time in and time out. So you're gonna have to be able to have two or three game plans when fighting Lara, Charlo, Spence, or whoever it may be. So you know what I'm saying? It's a wait and see process with him, but I like what I've seen from him so far.
Okay. Now, now we're gonna get into the main event where you got Gabriel Rosado against David Lemieux. And honestly, I think that fight there is going to be the fight to steal the show. The main event is going to be the like it's going to live up to the hype, the showstopper, because as we know, Rosado has a very solid chin, and we know David Lemieux is the type of guy he's coming to bring it, and Rosado will come to bring it too. I feel Rosado is the more skilled of the two, and me myself, that's why I tip my hat to him. Well, the hell with it. We might as well give predictions. I got I got Rosado by TKO in 9 rounds. I got Hank Lundy by unanimous decision, and I got James De La Rosa by TKO in 7. I mean KO in 7.
Well, in this fight, I give my prediction. That's make my point about this Dave Lemieux, Gabe Rosado fight. This is a tough fight to actually choose, because when, you know how we were talking about Eubanks Jr. early and how he came out swinging and gunning. That's what Dave Lemieux reminds me. He just comes out gunning and with reckless abandon, tires himself out, and then he shit. You know, he's out of he SOL. You know what I'm saying? He shit out of luck because once his energy go, his chin it starts to get weaker and weaker. The body shots start to affect him more, and he just mentally checks out of a fight. He needs to show improvement. And show that he can stick to the game plan and let the knockout come because Gay Rosado has a good chin. You know, he lost to Golovkin, but he didn't touch the canvas, and I don't really think he was in danger of touching the canvas up until the point where it got stopped. It got stopped on cuts. So you know what I'm saying. He has a good beard. You know what I'm saying, and he's one of the fighters that's improved over time. He took his lumps against Angulo and other fighters, but he's learned the hard way. And I think that man, I don't know. I don't know if Rosado is at a point where he's gonna be a lot of wear and tear on him. You know what I'm saying, for being a lot of tough fights doing the BKB thing.
Hmm.
And Lemieux can punch. That's called well
Yes, he can.
he can punch like with the best of them. And I think that yeah, I've been bad on my predictions. So I'm rolling with you, Smooth. I'm going with Rosado, man. I don't shit. I'm going with Rosado one way or another, win, decision, or KO. And for Lundy and Delorme, one thing I want to say, Delorme has to be definite in his attack. You know, he can't be timid in this fight with Lundy because Lundy's more offensive minded than Mayfield, you know, is. And he's gonna be in and out. He's gonna be aggressive. So whatever Delorme chooses to do, he's gonna have to go with it 100%. You know what I'm saying? He can't be timid and worry about getting knocked out. But I'm gonna go with
I'm gonna cut in real quick. I think I don't believe that Lundy is more offensive minded. I just believe Lundy is more versatile than Mayfield because you know Mayfield's
well,
man all he do is swing and
well,
shots.
well, well, well. Okay, I can see that point. I'm not gonna say even. I was about to say more offensive active, but uh, well, I don't know. Whatever it is, it just seems like his style causes more problems than
Right, more
Mayfield. Maybe because he a
dimensions,
better fighter.
more dimensions.
Yeah, more. He's a better fighter. Let's put it like that.
Yep.
He a better fighter. And I don't think it's close, but yeah, I got him winning a close split decision because you know them judges going on one of them cards. Judge gonna fuck up somebody. So, and I think that Lundy wins a split decision. I think De La Rosa gets the guy out 5 rounds, 6 rounds, and I think that
Centeno is I mean Centeno is a good fighter. I just believe De La Rosa's skills are just far superior.
I
And
think
I'm
his
not
power gonna be superior too because he knocked Angulo down at 160. This fight is at 154, right, or
no
155 or
it's
something.
157, 158, something like it's a catch weight.
Oh well, damn. I still think he gonna knock the guy out, but if he can come in as light as he want to be, you know, if he come in closer to the junior middleweight range, then his power is gonna be even more because he knocked down a usually sturdy Angulo and
Right.
had him hurt a lot. So I think that he gonna knock him out and dominate the fight. And like I said, I'm rolling with you, man, because my predictions been all off, man. I was 1-3 this weekend, so I'm rolling with Rosado with a decision or something.
Okay. JG.
My bad. I'm going to say, you know what? I can't agree with everybody. I can't agree with everybody this time. We got to have a little bit of differences.
Oh,
Right.
I didn't go yet. Don't say everybody.
I got. I'm gonna go with Delorme by split decision. I don't. As much as I love Hank Lundy and the hunger he's showing, and you know, I just don't think they're gonna give him a decision. I'm going to split with Delorme.
But so
I'm
are
gonna
you
go.
saying John, are you saying you think he gonna win the fight, but he's not gonna win the fight because the judges are gonna rob him, or are you thinking that DeLorme gonna just do enough to get a decision?
I think he's probably gonna get a little robbed.
Okay,
That's what I think. I think it's gonna
okay.
be. I think it's gonna be based on perception of what the judges like. Like I could very well see Lundy landing the more cleaner shots, but you know I guess just the activity inside, because I think it will eventually go inside, and once it go inside, I think it'll be Delorme's favor. So I'm gonna go with Delorme winning the split decision. Uh, I'm gonna go with De La Rosa winning the unanimous decision. Um, I think that he's a little bit better than that kid, so that's the one thing I'm going to agree with. And then I'm going to go with Rosado winning the no, he's not going to go unanimous. I'm going to say he's going to win TKO 8. Rosado gets him out of there. That's what I think. I think he tires him out because he can't knock Rosado out, and Rosado takes him out.
Okay.
Oh,
Miggity, miggity, miggity mouse.
yo, all right. I'm gonna be controversial. You know, I gotta be the only controversial one. I'm picking David Lemieux to be Rosado. You know what? I go back to I'm banking on what Jarrell said earlier, and it's based on where he's at because of the battles.
You breaking up.
I think that that transition to the coming back. I don't know. I just don't. I'm gonna pick David Lemieux to win a split decision on that one. I think Rosado's gonna get. I don't know. I think Rosado may.
Damn, Miguel, who's you trying to fool you for? What you doing, man? I can't hear nothing.
I think Rosado may get robbed. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rosado is gonna get robbed again. I like Rosado, but I just honestly think that David Lemieux, just the battles that Rosado's been in, I think David Lemieux is gonna take it. So I'm gonna pick Lemieux for the split decision on 12. I got De La Rosa winning the TKO in 9, and I got Delorme beating
Hank.
Lundy on I got a majority decision. I don't got a split decision. I got a majority decision for that one. I just think, like I said, I think his height and his jab is what. I think Robert Garcia is gonna come up with a good enough game plan to just get enough of an edge to beat him. But those are my picks.
Okay.
I'm gonna get our boy out and pick Lemieux. Oh, crazy! Let's go, Canada.
All right. Well, viewers, this is gonna be the end. Hey, y'all know what to do. Hit the like button, share the video, leave your comments in the comment section. One of us will definitely get back to you at our earliest convenience. Go hit up Facebook and like Colossal Boxing Talk the page. Go to Twitter and Instagram and follow us at Colossal CBT. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the love you guys are showing us. It's definitely appreciated. And yes, every video we will we'll say it again. We'll reiterate it again because it's just to show you guys that we definitely appreciate it. And
Hey, Miguel.
What's up?
You still think Michael Alvarado a better boxer than Chris Algieri even after the huh? I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking.
All I'm saying is 6 knockdowns, baby. 6 knockdowns.